Every morning, millions of people wake up, look in the mirror, and convince themselves that good enough is good enough. They have settled into relationships that drain their spirit, jobs that kill their dreams, and lives that are mere shadows of their true potential. But tonight, I want to tell you something that might shake your world. You were not born to settle. The very breath in your lungs is evidence of a greater purpose. When the Creator designed the eagle, He didn't say, well, maybe you should just hop around on the ground. No. The eagle was designed to soar above the storms, to ride the winds of adversity, to look directly into the sun without flinching. And you, my friend, you were designed for even greater heights. I am reminded of a seed, a simple, ordinary-looking seed. If you were to judge it by its current state, you might think it's insignificant. But within that seed lies the potential for an entire forest. The tragedy is not in being a seed. The tragedy is in never becoming the tree you were meant to be. Your life right now might feel small, contained, limited, but I am here to tell you that what you see is not all there is. The problem with settling is that it becomes comfortable. Like a cage with golden bars that promises security while stealing your freedom. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. Every time you accept less than what you were designed for, you are not just disappointing yourself, you are robbing the world of the gift you were meant to give. Your worth is not determined by your current circumstances. Your value was established long before anyone had the chance to devalue you. You are not a mistake trying to make it in life. You are a masterpiece trying to find your place of purpose. As I stand before you, I sense a stirring in this atmosphere. There's a wind of change blowing through this place, and it's carrying with it the seeds of transformation. Some of you came here feeling like that young man who walked into my office settled, resigned, accepting less. This is your moment of awakening. Your life is about to shift from the valley of settlement to the mountain of purpose. And this is just the beginning. Your potential is crying out for expression. Your purpose is demanding attention. And your future is pregnant with possibilities that exceed your imagination. The time has come to break free from the prison of settling and step into the palace of your true destiny. Your future is pregnant with possibilities that exceed your imagination. And this is why understanding your true worth becomes the foundation of everything I am sharing with you tonight. You see, when I study the principle of original design, I discover something profound that changes everything about how we should view ourselves. Before a product is manufactured, its value is already determined by its designer. The manufacturer does not ask the product what it thinks it's worth. The creator, the designer, established that worth from the very beginning. Now, if we understand this principle, it revolutionizes how we see ourselves. You didn't wake up one morning and decide to be born. You didn't choose your gifts, your talents, your natural abilities. These were installed in you by design. When I look at my watch, I don't negotiate with it about telling time. That's what it was designed to do. In the same way, your worth is not up for debate. It is not determined by popular vote. And it certainly is not established by your current circumstances. Greatness is not something you achieve, it's something you discover. It was built into your design. When the Creator thought about you, He didn't say, let me make an average being who will just get by. No. You were conceived in greatness, designed for excellence, and programmed for extraordinary impact. We've allowed our environment to define us. We've permitted other people's opinions to become our reality. We've accepted the mediocrity of our surroundings as our destiny. My friend, that stops tonight. You must understand that your environment is not your source, it's merely a resource. Your circumstances are not your conclusion, they are merely your current location. Mediocrity is not a lack of ability, it's a choice. It's what happens when we allow the opinions of others to drown out the voice of purpose within us. Every time you accept less than what you were designed for, you are not just settling, you are rebelling against your original design. When a lion is born in captivity, it's still a lion. Its environment does not change its DNA. You can cage it, you can feed it manufactured food, you can even make it perform tricks, but deep within, the heart of a lion beats. And one day something will trigger that original design, and that lion will remember who it really is. That's what's happening right now in this place. Some of you are beginning to remember who you really are. The amnesia of mediocrity is wearing off, and the memory of your true worth is awakening within you. You are beginning to feel something stirring in your spirit. That's your original design crying out for expression. Breaking free from a mediocrity mindset is not just about positive thinking. It's about aligning yourself with truth, the truth about who you are, why you are here, and what you were designed to accomplish. When you understand your true worth, settling becomes impossible. It becomes an insult to your design. I am reminded of a story about an eagle that was raised among chickens. It scratched the ground for worms. It pecked at seeds. It even tried to cluck. But one day I saw another eagle soaring high above, riding the winds with majesty and power. Something in its design resonated with what it saw. And in that moment, it realized it was never meant to live like a chicken. That's what understanding your true worth does. It awakens you to your real identity. It shifts your perspective from surviving to soaring, from existing to excelling, from settling to soaring. But this understanding must move from your head to your heart. It must become more than information. It must become revelation. I am challenging you to step into this revelation. Your worth is not determined by your bank account, your social status, or your past failures. Your worth was established by your designer, and he never creates anything ordinary. The very breath in your lungs is evidence of extraordinary purpose. And as this truth begins to settle in your spirit, as you begin to grasp the magnitude of your worth, you will find yourself naturally rising to new levels of excellence. Because when you know who you are, you will never again accept what you were never meant to be. When you know who you are, you will never again accept what you were never meant to be. And this brings me to something urgent that I must address tonight, the dangerous trap that many of us have fallen into without even realizing it. We call it settling, but I want you to understand that settling is more than just accepting less. It's a form of spiritual and personal treason against your purpose. When you settle, you don't just affect your life, you interrupt a divine sequence. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every transformation that was meant to come through you gets stuck at the doorway of your settlement. Your settlement becomes a barrier that blocks not just your progress, but the progress of everyone who was meant to be impacted by your full potential. How do you know if you are settling? Listen carefully. When you find yourself constantly making excuses for where you are, that's a sign. When you keep saying, well, at least that's settling talk. Well, at least I have a job well. At least the relationship is not abusive. Well, at least I am doing better than some people, my friend. At least is the language of settlement. And it's time to eliminate it from your vocabulary. Another sign is when you have stopped dreaming. Dreams aren't just night visions. They are preview pictures of your potential future. When you settle, your dreams begin to shrink to match your settlement. You start calling it being realistic, but what you are really doing is adjusting your vision to fit your limitation. That's dangerous. Your dreams aren't too big, your thinking is too small. But where it gets even more serious, many of us have created comfort zones that have become our prisons. Now understand this, a comfort zone is not comfortable because it's good. It's comfortable because it's familiar. It's like wearing shoes that are too small, they hurt. But you have worn them so long, you have adjusted to the pain. The problem with comfort zones is that they are like quicksand. The longer you stay, the deeper you sink. Growth never happens in comfort zones. Life never expands in settling places. Everything that grows, everything that expands, Everything that multiplies must break out of its comfort zone. Look at a butterfly. If it stays in its cocoon because it's comfortable, it will die. The very thing that protected it during transformation becomes a prison that prevents its manifestation. And then there's the prison of low expectations. Oh, this is a subtle one. Low expectations feel safe because they are easy to meet. When you expect little, you are rarely disappointed. But here's the tragedy. Your expectations become your limitations. Whatever you are willing to accept becomes your ceiling. Whatever you tolerate becomes your standard. Let me give you an example. If you put a lid on a jar, everything in that jar can only rise to the level of that lid. Your expectations are like that lid determine how high you can rise. And the dangerous part is that low expectations feel reasonable, they feel prudent, they feel wise. But they are nothing but settlement in disguise. The cost of these comfort zones and low expectations is astronomical. It's not just about what you lose, it's about what you never become. It's about the lives you never touch, the impact you never make, the territory you never take. Every time you settle for less than your potential, you are not just cheating yourself, you are cheating your generation. The graveyard is not just a place where bodies are buried, it's where unfulfilled potential lies. It's where settled dreams are laid to rest. It's where compromise claims its final victory. And I refuse to let that be your story. Your comfort zone is not your friend, it's your enemy disguised as a protector. Your low expectations aren't keeping you safe, they are keeping you small. Your settlement is not securing your future, it's stealing it. And tonight, right here in this place, it's time to make a decision. It's time to break out of the prison of settlement, to shatter the ceiling of low expectations, to step out of the quicksand of comfort zones. Because the real danger is not in reaching for too much, it's in settling for too little. The real risk is not in expecting too much, it's in accepting too little. The real threat is not in dreaming too big, it's in settling too small. And this brings me to something that I must impart to you tonight about your divine design for excellence. When we talk about excellence, we're not talking about perfection, we're talking about maximizing your unique design. Let me share something powerful with you. In all of creation, in all of history, in all the billions of people who have ever lived or will live, there has never been and will never be another you. Your fingerprints prove that you are an original. Your DNA confirms that you are unique. But it goes deeper than physical uniqueness. You carry a purpose that only you can fulfill. When the Creator designed you, He didn't just throw some random ingredients together. No, every talent, every ability, every characteristic you possess was deliberately installed for a specific purpose. Your personality is not an accident. Your natural inclinations aren't coincidental. Even your struggles and challenges are part of your unique design for excellence. Now, let me introduce you to a principle that will revolutionize your understanding, the principle of seed potential. Every seed contains within it everything it needs to fulfill its purpose. An apple seed does not struggle to produce apples, it's programmed in its DNA. An oak seed does not attend seminars on how to become an oak tree, it's built into its design. You, my friend, are a seed of purpose. Everything you need to fulfill your destiny is already within you. Your potential is not something you need to acquire, it's something you need to discover and develop. The question is not whether you have what it takes, the question is whether you will activate what's already been placed within you. But where many of us face our greatest battle, the battle of the mind. Mental barriers are like invisible walls that keep us confined in spaces smaller than our design. These barriers whisper lies. You are not qualified enough. You are too old. You are too young. You don't have the right background. It's too late. But tonight, I want to expose these lies for what they are. They are not facts. They are opinions that you have accepted as truth. Your mind will always try to create barriers based on your past experiences. But your purpose is not limited by your past. It's fueled by your potential. Your destiny is not determined by what you have been through. It's determined by what you are designed for. Let me illustrate this. When an airplane is first designed, it's designed according to the laws of aerodynamics, not according to the law of gravity. Yes, gravity exists. Yes, gravity is real, but the airplane was designed to operate according to a higher law. In the same way, your design for excellence operates according to higher laws than your current circumstances, your past failures, or other people's opinions. Breaking through mental barriers requires a fundamental shift in your thinking. You must move from possibility thinking to potential thinking. Possibility thinking says, maybe I can. Potential thinking says, I was designed to. Possibility thinking looks at circumstances. Potential thinking looks at purpose. Possibility thinking asks, can I? Potential thinking declares, I am. Excellence is not something you pursue, it's something you release. It's already within you, waiting to be manifested. But you must understand this. Your excellence may not look like anyone else's excellence. An eagle and a dolphin both express excellence, but they do it differently. Your unique design demands your unique expression of excellence. You are not an accident trying to become significant. You are significance trying to find its full expression. You are not a mistake trying to become valuable. You are value trying to find its place of maximum impact. The mental barriers that have held you back, the doubt, the fear, the insecurity, they are not walls, they are lies. They are like shadows, they look substantial, but they have no real power except the power you give them through your belief. Your design for excellence is stronger than any barrier, greater than any limitation, more powerful than any obstacle. You must align your thinking with your design. You must reject every thought, every idea, every suggestion that contradicts your divine design for excellence. Your potential is too valuable to be limited by mental barriers. Your purpose is too important to be restricted by limited thinking. And as these truths begin to penetrate your spirit, as these mental barriers begin to crumble, you will find yourself naturally rising to new levels of excellence. Because when your thinking aligns with your design, excellence becomes your natural expression. Excellence becomes your natural expression. And this brings me to a critical principle that will determine whether you maintain your path to greatness or slip back into mediocrity, the power of standards. You see, standards aren't just rules we follow, they are boundaries that protect our purpose. Let me share something profound with you. In the kingdom, standards aren't limitations, they are liberations. When you set standards based on your purpose rather than your convenience, something powerful happens. Your life begins to organize itself around your destiny rather than your desires. Your decisions become filtered through the lens of your divine design rather than temporary satisfaction. Every level of life demands its own standard. Eagles don't flock with chickens not because they are arrogant, but because they understand the law of standards. You cannot soar with eagles while pecking with chickens. It's not about pride, it's about purpose. Your standards must match your design. Some of the battles you are fighting right now aren't because you are doing something wrong. They are because your standards are too low. You are accepting things that your purpose cannot accommodate. You are tolerating atmospheres that your destiny cannot breathe in. Your environment is not neutral. It's either lifting you or limiting you. It's either feeding your potential or starving it. Look around you right now. Everything in your environment is making a deposit into your life. The question is not whether deposits are being made. The question is what kind of deposits are being made. Environment is more than just physical location. It's the books you read, the music you listen to, the conversations you engage in, the thoughts you entertain. Every aspect of your environment is either reinforcing your purpose or diluting it. There's no middle ground. Your environment will either expand your vision or shrink it to fit its limitations. This brings me to a principle that has transformed countless lives, the principle of association. Listen carefully, your life is moving in the direction of your strongest associations. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Show me your relationships and I'll show you your reality. Why? Because association is about more than friendship, it's about influence. Let me illustrate this. If you put a piece of fresh fruit next to a rotten one, the fresh fruit does not make the rotten one fresh till decay spreads to the fresh fruit. In the same way, wrong associations don't just impact your present, they affect your future. They don't just affect your decisions, they alter your standards. We try to rise higher while maintaining lower level associations. It's like trying to fly with anchors attached to your wings. You must understand this: new levels require new associations. Different altitudes demand different associations. Your relationships must be chosen by purpose, not by history. It's time to raise your standards. It's time to upgrade your associations. It's time to create an environment that matches your destiny. You cannot become who you are designed to be while surrounding yourself with what you are designed to leave behind. The power of standards is that they create automatic boundaries. When your standards are clear, you don't have to debate every decision. When your standards are aligned with your purpose, you don't have to struggle with every choice. Your standards become the gatekeepers of your destiny. When you raise your standards, you automatically eliminate certain problems. You don't have to fight certain battles because your standards fight them for you. You don't have to wrestle with certain temptations because your standards have already settled the issue. Standards aren't maintained by willpower, they are maintained by conviction. Your standards must be rooted in your understanding of your worth, anchored in your awareness of your purpose, and sustained by your vision of your destiny. When your standards flow from your identity rather than your discipline, maintaining them becomes natural rather than stressful. I challenge you to examine your standards. Are they high enough for where you are going? Are they strong enough to protect your purpose? Are they clear enough to guide your decisions? Because your standards will determine your story. Your associations will predict your achievements. Your environment will shape your experience. And as you align your standards with your purpose, as you upgrade your associations to match your destiny, as you create an environment that nurtures your potential, you will find yourself naturally rising to new levels of impact and influence. You will find yourself naturally rising to new levels of impact and influence. But this rising does not happen by accident, it happens by design. Tonight, I want to give you practical strategies that will take you from where you are to where you were designed to be. This is not about theory, this is about transformation. First, you must understand that growth is not an event, it's a process. Many of us want microwave success in a crock pot world. But watch this, everything valuable in life develops progressively. A bamboo tree takes 5 years to break through the ground, but once it breaks through, it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. Why? Because while nothing was seemingly happening above the ground, roots were being established below. Your growth follows the same principle. Sometimes it may seem like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, foundation is being laid. Character is being built. Strength is being developed. Don't despise these seasons of invisible growth. They are preparing you for visible impact. Let me give you something practical. Every morning before you start your day, ask yourself this question: what am I becoming today? Not what am I doing, what am I becoming? Because your doing should flow from your becoming. Your actions should be directed by your development. Your movement should be motivated by your growth. You must develop yourself beyond your current problems. Most people try to solve problems at their current level of development. But the level of thinking that created your current situation cannot be the same level that transforms it. You must grow beyond your problems. Let me show you something powerful about vision. Your vision must be bigger than yourself, because if your vision only serves you, it's too small. A God-given vision always involves impact beyond yourself. It always includes others. It always contributes to something greater than personal achievement. When you plant an apple tree, you are not just thinking about apples, you are thinking about orchards. When you plant a seed, you are not just thinking about one harvest, you are thinking about generations of harvests. Your vision must have the same characteristic. It must see beyond immediate gratification to generational impact. Your capacity must match your vision. You cannot carry a big vision with small capacity. This is why personal growth is not optional, it's essential. Your vision will always be limited by your personal development. Let me give you 3 practical steps for expanding your capacity. First, establish a daily growth routine. Your growth must be intentional. Just like you schedule meetings, schedule your development. Read books that stretch your thinking. Listen to teachings that challenge your limitations. Engage in conversations that expand your perspective. Second, create growth relationships. Find people who are where you want to be and learn from them. Not just through formal mentorship, through observation, through service, through teaching. Remember, proximity is power. Your growth accelerates in the presence of growth-minded people. Third, practice the principle of progressive development. Start where you are, but don't stay where you are. Take small steps consistently rather than attempting big leaps occasionally. Remember the bamboo tree: consistent, progressive development leads to exponential growth. As you grow, you will face resistance. This is natural. Every new level of growth faces new levels of opposition. But here's the key: the opposition is not your enemy, it's your trainer. The resistance is not trying to stop you, it's trying to strengthen you. Think about weightlifting. The resistance does not prevent growth, it promotes it. The pressure does not destroy development, it demands it. Every time you push against resistance, you are building spiritual and mental muscles. Every time you overcome opposition, you are expanding your capacity. Your growth is not just about you. Your development is not just for your benefit. When you grow, you create a path for others to follow. When you develop, you demonstrate what's possible. Your growth becomes a testimony that inspires others to rise. This is why you can't settle for small growth. This is why you can't be satisfied with minimal development. Your growth is not just about your success, it's about your significance. Your development is not just about your achievement, it's about your impact. And as you implement these strategies, as you build this bigger vision, as you embrace this principle of progressive development, you will find yourself naturally rising to new levels of influence and impact. Because true growth always leads to greater responsibility, and greater responsibility always leads to greater opportunity. True growth always leads to greater responsibility, and greater responsibility always leads to greater opportunity. And right here, in this moment, you stand at a crossroads. A moment of decision that will determine not just your future, but the futures of countless others who are connected to your purpose. Tonight is not just about hearing words, it's about making a decision that will alter the trajectory of your life. Everything we've discussed, your true worth, the danger of settling, your divine design for excellence, the power of standards and strategies for rising higher, all of it comes down to this moment. The moment where knowledge meets decision, where understanding meets action, where revelation meets responsibility. The distance between where you are and where you are designed to be is crossed by the bridge of decision. Not just emotional decisions made in a moment of inspiration, but concrete decisions that lead to immediate action. The time for contemplating mediocrity is over. The season for entertaining smallness has passed. The moment for embracing your greatness has come. Let me give you 3 immediate actions you must take tonight. First, you must make a non-negotiable commitment to excellence. This is not about perfection, it's about progression. Excellence is not a destination, it's a direction. Decide right now that you will no longer cooperate with anything that reduces you to less than what you were designed to be. Second, you must clear your environment of everything that contradicts your destiny. Some relationships need to be redefined. Some habits need to be eliminated. Some atmospheres need to be changed. Don't wait for tomorrow, start tonight. Your future is too valuable to be sacrificed on the altar of comfortable compromise. Third, you must activate your potential through immediate action. Don't leave this place the same way you came in. Don't let this moment become just another emotional experience. Take what you have heard and translate it into immediate action. Write down your vision. Create your growth plan. Make those phone calls. Have those conversations. Take those steps. Desire without decision is fantasy. Potential without action is waste. Purpose without progression is tragedy. The graveyard is filled with great potential that never became great reality because someone failed to make a decision and take action. Some of you are sitting here thinking, but what if I fail? Listen to me, failure is not fatal unless you stop. Failure is not final unless you quit. Failure is not fatal, settling is. The greatest tragedy is not failing while trying to rise and succeeding at staying low. You are about to break free from the prison of low expectations. You are about to shatter the ceiling of limitation. You are about to step into a dimension of influence and impact that will astound you. But it starts with your decision. It begins with your commitment. It launches with your action. Don't tell me about your dreams if you are not willing to wake up and pursue them. Don't tell me about your potential if you are not willing to develop it. Don't tell me about your destiny if you are not willing to pay the price to fulfill it. The time for talking is over. This is the moment for action. I sense in my spirit that some of you are at a tipping point. You have been prepared, you have been positioned, you have been processed, and now you are ready to be promoted. But promotion comes to those who make decisions and take action. Heaven is waiting for your movement. So right now in this moment, I challenge you, stand up, not just physically, but spiritually. Stand up in your thinking. Stand up in your expectations. Stand up in your standards. Stand up in your vision. The world is waiting for your excellence. Your generation is waiting for your impact. Your destiny is waiting for your decision. Don't leave this place the same way you came in. Don't let this moment pass without making a commitment to excellence. Don't let this opportunity slip away without taking immediate action. Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your season has come. Remember, you deserve better than settling. You were designed for more than mediocrity. You were created for excellence, destined for greatness, and programmed for impact. Now go forth and become everything you were designed to be. The world is waiting for your manifestation. Rise up, step out, move forward. Your destiny waits. Your excellence matters. Your time is now. Stand up and take your place among those who refuse to settle, who decided for excellence, who chose to rise. The future belongs to those who dare to become what they were designed to be. Now rise and take your place.